What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another great edition of Symone with the Sports. Today, I'm bringing you guys another great guest. We had Corbin on here before when it was NFL playoff time. Now we're in the thick of the NFL offseason, and it's no better guest to have on than Corbin right now. Corbin, what's going on? Last time we talked, like I said, it was the NFL playoffs. This offseason has been the craziest in maybe any offseason of any league I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it's been so crazy to see a guy that has won a Super Bowl in Russell Wilson getting traded to Denver, a team that has an incredible defense and a team that's last piece of the puzzle was the quarterback, and to get a great guy like Russell Wilson was crazy. Like, you see teams in that AFC West just stacking up in the secondary. You think about a team like the Chargers. I'm getting a guy like J.C. Jackson. I mean, the guy is an interception machine. You see like the Raiders bulking up. You see Kansas City trying to find some more firepower. They gave away Tariq, but they got Martez Valdez-Scantling. They got him. He's a deep threat. I mean, it's just like this offseason has been insane, but listen, it gets everybody primed and ready to enter into the season. And the thing about it is, we just had the draft, and people were talking about, oh, this draft's not as great. Well, the draft, you think the draft wasn't as great because it didn't have like a top tier quarterback. There were some great players in this draft, and we can talk about a few of them when you're ready.
So we talk about the draft, Corbin, and you know, we stole the show draft night. I mean,
ooh, did y'all? I mean, I can't even lie. Whoa.
So we talked before. Last time we talked before the playoffs, it was around college football postseason. We were talking about Nakobe Dean. That's the guy that the Eagles added. We added Jordan Davis as well. Plus, of course, our big addition of AJ Brown. So we're basically locked in on Jalen Hurts, at least for this season. What you think about what the Eagles did?
Okay. Well, what were we even talking about? The Eagles? Wow, okay. The Eagles, they're trying to figure out if Jalen Hurts is the guy. You know, I think they have guys on defense. People think Fletcher Cox has lost the juice. Fletcher Cox is going to be just fine. He's got a couple more years left in him. Jordan Davis is going to help him with that because he's just a double team magnet. Like, they have the ends to rush the edge. It's just going to be all up to Jalen Hurts. AJ Brown, I honestly think he's a top 5 receiver in the league. The dude is a beast. And to think about the quarterback that he's had before, and Ryan Tannehill, I think Jalen Hurts is better. Quarterback. Yeah. Right. Like, you know, we could talk about him for days. Honestly, I think since I've played, he's gotten better. But Jalen Hurts, I mean, if Jalen Hurts can show up, the Eagles could make some noise in the NFC East. I mean, not like it's a great division by any stretch, but you know, I think the Eagles could, if they get on track and they buy into the scheme, I think they can go 11-6, maybe 12-5 this year.
Based off how easy our schedule is this season, I can see us at least winning 12 games. Like, our schedule is super, super easy. But
the Cowboys and the Giants and the Commanders, I mean, those are just easy games.
And then our non-division matchups, like, we have pretty much a cakewalk of it's no excuse.
Yeah. So this is the year. If Jalen can do it, he'll get a long-term deal. If he doesn't, he'll probably be on somebody else's team. I'm nothing against the guy. That's how the NFL works. Like, if you don't perform, you're getting out of there.
No, I agree. And especially since we traded one of our picks to the Saints. So now we have 2 first-round picks next season. In case Jalen Hurts doesn't work out, we could get a quarterback via draft or use that to make a trade for, another quarterback that'll be dissatisfied next offseason.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you talk about Ryan Tannehill. Since you brought him up, yesterday it came out, yesterday when this video was recorded, it came out, you know how they do the biggest winners, losers of the draft? Ryan Tannehill, they were saying, like, the biggest loser of the draft because the Titans got Malik Willis. And then Ryan Tannehill said yesterday it's not his job to mentor Malik Willis. What's your take?
It's not his job. Like I remember when guys would come in the draft and they say, "Oh, why am I showing him?" Number one, I'm an undrafted free agent. Like, I mean, my job is on the line every year, so I'm not paying nobody nothing. But in his case, Ryan Tannehill, obviously a little different than me. First round pick, he's been paid, but he's still like not that top tier quarterback that he should be worried about teaching anybody anything. I think they drafted Malik Willis in the 3rd round to compete with him. And I honestly think the Titans got a steal in Malik. I think he's super athletic. If something like triggers in his head to get like the balls out there quickly and to use his athleticism and to have kind of like a first year similar to a Dak Prescott, I mean, I think the Titans may have their new quarterback. Ryan Tannehill has proven year after year after year he's not the guy. He's not the guy anywhere. Like he's the only reason he has been held up on a pedestal because of his running back and AJ Brown and the tight ends that they have on that offense. And he's been very well protected by a pretty good offensive line. So he's been in a fantastic situation. But at the end of the day, the writing's on the wall for Ryan Tannehill. They were supposed to go to the Super Bowl last year and obviously they didn't get it done. The Bengals went out there and beat them. So I honestly think Malik Willis has a legit chance if he shows up and does like something similar to, not just Dak Prescott, but Russell Wilson. You remember when he came into Seattle and, okay, Russell Wilson, 3rd round pick, whatever. And they signed, God, I forgot that guy's name. They signed some fella to a 7-year, like $50 million deal. And Russell Wilson comes in and just blows everybody out of the water. And it's like, oh, okay, we're going to get rid of this guy and just let him play. So we could be looking at one of those kind of situations this summer. I'm really high on Malik Willis and the Titans. Again, they got a steal in the guy.
See, now I agree with you, Corbin, but you got to be, you know what the media try to do when they ask you that question. Even if you're not really gonna mentor him, just say, yeah, can't wait to show him some things. Like,
no. We live in a day and age. Listen, there's no more time for faking it, man. Like we live in a day and age where people are telling the truth. People are tired of lying, Symone. People are tired of lying. Listen, if you don't want to do it, then don't. Because here's the thing: if he says he's gonna do it, then the media eye is on all quarterbacks in the NFL. They're going to be looking to see if he's talking to them. Obviously, I think he's going to be a great teammate. I'm not saying he's going to just kind of stay away from him, but again, it's not any player's job to do that. Who in history has done that? Did Brett Favre do it for Aaron Rodgers? No. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, what's his name? We had Joe Flacco, and I'm pretty sure he had kind of the same attitude towards
Yeah, listen, people can say that they're going to do that. Nobody's trying to do that. Listen, it's just, no.
So, do you think Malik Willis or Nakobe Dean, both those players went in the 3rd round? Which one was the biggest steal?
The biggest steal is Malik Willis. I mean, I like Nakobe Dean. Don't get me wrong. But wait till you see him on the field and see how small he is at his position. That's the reason why he didn't get drafted very high. He's a smaller linebacker, and 2, he's pretty banged up. But I'm not going to hold that against him because he's had a full off season. He could probably, get in treatment and feel better. But this way, he looks big at Georgia because they're playing against smaller guys. When you get to the big time and you see how small the guy is, he may have a tougher time taking on those big blockers. Not to say that some guys haven't done it. I remember a guy that was kind of a similar size, London Fletcher. He played a long time. So it's just up to how physical Nakobe can be. Nakobe is a sideline to sideline guy. Very rarely did you see him coming up in the fray and taking on guards and stuff like that. But can he catch you run the sideline to sideline? Oh, for sure. So I definitely think the biggest upside is Malik Willis. I think he has the arm strength. I think he has the athletic ability. All he has to do is learn the offense and throw and learn how to throw the ball accurately. And I think he'll be the steal of the draft, quite honestly. And I think he has that drive. The thing is, when you go later than you're supposed to, you have that chip on your shoulder. And he has that chip. And Nakobe will have it too, but I think he'll have a tougher time because those big guards coming at you, it's not easy to take those guys on, just being honest with you.
You be killing me, Corey. You be killing me.
I like Nakobe, but those guys... I'm sure you've been to some NFL games before and seen how big those dudes are, and those dudes ain't playing. Okay, I'm just saying. I wish him all the best. I'm a Nakobe Dean fan, but like I just don't know. I don't know how effective he's going to be. I just don't know.
Well, we're gonna see come September. But Corbin, like I said, this was a crazy, wild offseason. We talked a little bit about Russell Wilson, but outside of that Russell Wilson trade, because there was rumors and murmurs a long time about Russell Wilson might wanting to get traded. So that's why that wasn't the biggest shock to me. What was the biggest shock to you this offseason, outside of the draft?
Man, you know what, Symone? The Tyreek Hill trade. Like, I can't believe that. Tyreek Hill, like watching him play against my Bills like the last year and seeing him run through us like he's Pac-Man or whatever little fast little thing you want to call him. This dude is a game changer. And one thing that I've learned in the league is that, you know, you don't get rid of your game changers. You find a way to keep them. And without Tyreek Hill in the lineup, that's going to change their whole offense because Tyreek Hill was the guy that broke the umbrella. You know, teams would try to play that umbrella coverage, cover four, like over the top, and it wouldn't work because Tyreek Hill was so fast. And again, they have MVS from Green Bay, but like Tyreek Hill is a one-of-a-kind player. You're not going to find him like every year in the draft. You're not going to find him every year in free agency. So the Miami Dolphins got to steal, and it's up to Tua. I mean, I'm not very high on Tua. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think he's very injury prone. I think he's kind of finicky in the pocket. But you know, this is another kind of situation where the writing's on the wall for Tyreek Hill. Not Tyreek Hill, for Tua as well. Like if he doesn't perform this year with Jalen Waddle,
I forgot who the Dolphins. Who's their backup again? Is it Tua? Is it Teddy Bridgewater?
No, it's not Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know who their backup is, but it's not anybody of note. They had Jacoby Brissett for a little while, but they let him go. He's on the Browns now. So
I thought I could have sworn the Dolphins got signed because Jameis is locked up with the Saints. I could have sworn, and Russ went to the Broncos. I could have sworn Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Dolphins. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know about Tua because they loaded up. The Dolphins made a lot of moves this offseason, especially offensively. So Tua's in the same kind of situation Jalen Hurts is in. Like, we got all these weapons, we got all these pieces. Like, you got to prove you that guy this season because, yeah, the Dolphins, they loaded up.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Teddy Bridgewater is on the Dolphins. So the clock is ticking on Tua.
Honestly, about the Dolphins, Tua looked good last season.
I mean, good. What do you mean? Like, what's good? What is good? Did they make the playoffs?
Better than Tua.
You said who's better than Tua?
I said he looked better than Tua.
Oh, Teddy does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Teddy's way better than Tua. I'm like, on the scale, I put these quarterbacks on the scale, obviously 1 to 32. You know, I would put Teddy Bridgewater on the back end of the good half. I would say he's probably 17. Tua's in the 20s somewhere. Like, I mean, he hasn't done anything. Like,
yeah.
You know, everybody was talking tank for Tua all those years before, and then that's the thing about the draft. You don't know what you're going to get. You know, you can look at all the tape. You can look at a guy standing behind the wall of the Alabama line for 2 or 3 years and think he's an all-time great, and then he goes somewhere with no protection and gets destroyed. So,
right.
But again, this is another one of those seasons where he's going to have to prove it.
I definitely think Tyreek Hill was definitely one of the most shocking because I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't see Tyreek Hill coming at all. Outside of that, Devontae Adams was shocking because I thought once Aaron Rodgers stayed, that meant Devontae Adams was going to stay. That trade really shocked me. I think it was Tyreek and Devontae that really shocked me.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Packers didn't have enough money to pay Devontae Adams. I mean, you pay Aaron Rodgers so much money, but you don't pay anybody around him. Like, I mean, I think they got maybe a receiver or two in the draft this year, but I mean, nobody's going to beat Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the NFL. You're going to have to pay him as such. Like, they thought he was just going to play on the franchise tag. He was one of those guys that was gonna consider just sitting out the year? Like, cause why? Like, you're paying on a contract that's like that has like no long term like guarantee. So he was like, either get me out of here or I'm just gonna sit around. And the Packers were like, we got to get something for him, because when you push organizations in that direction, they have to figure out a way to get something. And the Raiders were able to give that up. And I think he's gonna be, man, the AFC West. Whew. I mean, I think they're all gonna just like destroy each other. I don't know who's gonna make it out of that.
So, lastly, let me ask you. You're an AFC guy. I feel like before, like the last couple of seasons, I feel like the NFC was really loaded. But I feel like now this offseason, it seems like all the talent shifted over to the AFC. Like you're talking about the AFC West. The Dolphins loaded up as well. The Chargers obviously loaded up. The storylines has been AFC this offseason. Yeah. So who's your top 5 teams going into the NFL?
God, do I have to give them to you in order, or can I just
like top? It don't have to be like a certain.
Well, number one, and I hate doing this because they always let me and everybody else down.
Don't say dark Buffalo Bills.
Cleveland Browns. Oh. The Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson. Thank goodness he got through all of that mess he was dealing with. Everybody lying on him and all that stuff.
Well, I forgot to ask you this. Baker Mayfield, what's going to happen to him?
They're going to have to trade him. They'll trade him for a first, second round pick.
To who?
Carolina, Houston needs a quarterback. There's some teams out there that still need somebody. Who else needs a quarterback? I would, off the top of my head, Carolina and Houston would be. I mean, if I were Houston, I'd be crawling to get Baker Mayfield.
Steelers, well, they drafted the guy from Penn.
From where?
I said Penn. Pitt. They drafted the guy from Pitt. What's his name again?
Kenny. No, he went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Steelers. At first, the Steelers, there was some rumors like they might be interested in Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's not a Steelers guy. Like, I played for the Steelers for a couple of years. Trust me, I know they're not trying to sign Baker Mayfield. The Steelers build their team that builds through the draft. That's why they drafted their quarterback in the first round. I hope he does well. I don't have high expectations for the guy, but yeah, the Steelers were never on. Now, I do think they tried to get Deshaun Watson, even though they say they weren't. But I do think. I mean, who would want that guy? Right. I mean, he's gonna elevate the Browns to such a new level, and with the scheme of Kevin Stefanski and Nick Chubb, and gosh, they got what's that other running back's name? I forget his name. But they have the other guy behind them that used to play for Kansas City. They got a strong offensive line. Myles Garrett, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward on the back. I mean, what else?
All about the Browns.
I mean, all you have to do is freaking coach these guys. Now, if they can get these guys in great position, and Deshaun Watson performs like he's supposed to, granted he had a year off, so I mean that's a factor. But like, they have everything. So there is like no excuse for the Browns not to at least get to the AFC Championship. Right. So after that, obviously Buffalo. I mean, not because I'm a Buffalo guy, but man, Josh Allen, how can you bet against a guy like that? Like, he's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, quite honestly, just with his skill set. They added a running back in James Cook, so we finally got the running back that we need. We fixed the whole offensive line on the offensive line with Roger Saffold. The biggest thing for Buffalo is going to be the pass rush. I mean, right now we haven't signed Jerry Hughes back. We have Von Miller. But how much does he have left in the tank? I mean, we'll have to see. But if they can fix that pass rush, the Bills are going to be something.
Y'all got Von Miller, and y'all locked him up for what, 4 years?
4 years guaranteed, yeah. But it was like a 6-year deal, which is like
got a lot of faith that hamstrings and stuff will hold up.
Yeah. Honestly, he may be one of those guys that you just want to keep on the back end. Let him play like it the midpoint of the season, just let them roll. Because Von Miller was a lot different during the season than when you look at that Super Bowl and you see him rushing. In the Super Bowl, he was rushing like Von Miller 10 years ago. So we'll see if they can fix that. The Chargers, I think, have a great young protege at quarterback. I think their offense is solid. Their offensive line is solid, which is huge. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. How much juice does Khalil Mack have? That's the question. Yeah. The back end's great with J.C. Jackson and Derwin James. Linebackers, I don't think linebackers matter that much, but I love the young quarterback for the Chargers. I think he's going to take another step forward if there is another step. He was already a Pro Bowler. You got to go with the Bengals because they made the Super Bowl. I mean, Joe Burrow just proved that he is just elite. He doesn't talk that elite game, but everybody knows he's an elite player. Jamar Chase, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, the guy is just one of the fastest guys. You can't guard him. You have to double team him. They fixed the hole that they had on the offensive line. So they signed a couple guys to fill those guard holes because Joe Burrow would get killed. And they still have a very solid defense, solid secondary. Bates is coming back. So I'm excited to watch Cincinnati and Kansas City. I mean, you can't bet against Pat Mahomes. He doesn't have it. He doesn't. What'd you say?
I said no Colts.
No, what? You know who the Colts quarterback is?
I got a hot take from somebody who said before the Matt Ryan trade was even a question, they said if Matt Ryan goes to the Colts, that's a Super Bowl winning Super Bowl. That's what somebody told me.
Matt Ryan is going Matt Ryan anyway. Matt Ryan has had maybe 3 really incredible years, but no, not the Colts. Definitely Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is just so elite. He's going to figure it out without Tyreek Hill. I think they drafted well on defense, drafted a couple of pass rushers. I like the guy from Purdue, Kalafdis. So I think they're going to be fine. And I think that's 5. I think I just gave you 5. So
yeah, you gave me 5, and of course
but English, Matt Ryan. Yeah, I'm not a believer in Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan is garbage.
You guy can be up, Corby.
Hey, listen, that's why you put me on the show because I'm a realist. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have any ill will against anybody. I just tell you how I feel. And Matt Ryan has had some great teams in Atlanta, and he has stunk it up. Why is he going to do better in Indy? You think the offensive line is going to help him? It's not going to help him throw the ball accurate.
Look, Corbin, I told you somebody came to me with this tape.
I believe it. I
said the same thing you said. I think, it's going to be an upgrade over Carson Wentz. I feel like just because Carson Wentz is so.
Carson Wentz is garbage.
Yeah. But I was like, automatic Super Bowl? No. especially how deep the AFC is now.
Yeah, and I do feel like
Matt Ryan doesn't get enough respect. I do feel like that. We don't have enough time to get into a Matt Ryan debate, but I do honestly feel like Matt Ryan does not get enough respect.
What does he need respect for? He hasn't done anything. When was the Super Bowl? 2015, what was that 2014 they went to the Super Bowl and lost?
I think it was 16. We were 17.
I mean, other than that, he had another really good year when they lost to the 49ers. But what else has he done? What has he done in the last 5 years?
Look who's around him.
Julio Jones was around him his whole career. Are you kidding me? He's hurt now, but man, he had prime Julio. And you can't win with that? I mean,
okay, no. Now, Corbin, and I'm not saying he hasn't underachieved here and there, but I'm saying I don't think he should be stamped with the bum label.
Oh, no. I'm not going.
But also the defenses, though, Corbin, the defenses, you know that? The defense makes the offense. Their defense has been extremely subpar. Matt Ryan's 40 years old. He got to be on the field all game because the defense is quick.
Yeah, but the defense is on the field, too, because he's throwing all them picks. So, I mean, I don't know. I was going to say this before. I cheer for the Colts. I got a homeboy that plays for the Colts. I want him to succeed. But the Colts ain't doing nothing this year, man. Like, come on. I mean, I like Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I like the big dog up front, Quentin Nelson. I think he's a gold jacket player. But I mean, Matt Ryan's still gonna throw picks. He's still. I don't see it.
We gonna see. But y'all, this is Corbin Bryant. I'm Simone with the Sports. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Of course, Corbin, appreciate you for coming back on. Of course, our conversations could go on forever, but Zoom got a little limit, so we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all like this video, though. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. You can tell them where to find you on Twitter for all the hot takes.
Find me on Twitter at CBryant198 and also find me on Instagram at CorbinBryant97.
You post it on Instagram. You can't plug that if you don't post.
Yeah, I post on Instagram during the season, so leave me alone.